Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my NieR Automata very hard video walkthrough. This is the final chapter of 2B's campaign. It is called Loss. This is essentially a boss rush chapter with very little else because the world is all cataclysmic now. All the shops have practically vanished, all the side quests have practically dried up, and the only thing left to do is end the misery of this particular sequence. So this is the exact same boss we just fought, only now he's electrified. When he's electrified, if you touch him, you will instantly die. If you're in the water where he is electrified, you will instantly die. Everything else remains the same. Once you put this guy's life down a certain amount, he's going to call buddies, and his buddies are going to cause havoc. And this fight gets real miserable about this point, but hopefully I'm going to circumvent it, and you're not going to see any of that. So, whenever the enemies turn up, if you get inside the tail, you stand about a 90% chance of not taking a hit from an enemy. I've been hit by the enemy, and it's of course the exclusion to that rule, but it's the safest place you're going to be. Lower his life as much as you can, like I did just then, attack his legs, stun him, attack his tail, stun him, and then get the dodge, and then counter the dodge, and then get away because you're about to get vacuumed in, and you can die in this bullshit part of the game. But that's the end of that first fight. Now's the second one. This is new. But don't even pay any attention, because if you can get away from this thing and stand up on a ledge, if you get the right amount of distance and he's like near a tree, he'll not move, as long as your player who's with you is passive. Like right now, you see this? If I shoot him from this distance and I never move, he will never engage me. He'll just stand there and take it. And I'm going to shoot him in his core for the next 5 minutes and completely break his AI. I don't know why this happens, it's a problem with the game, but I can do it consistently, and the boss fight's shit, so fuck it. So this is all we're going to do, stand here shooting. And I apologise guys, it's miserable to watch, but this is the game they made, and I'm going to exploit it, because it's miserable. So, put all the chips you can to increase your range. Use the laser blast, put cooldown chips on to keep hitting it with laser blast if you want. Or do what I did. Have an episode of House on your PC playing while you do this, so you don't even have to watch the game and you can just listen to Hugh Laurie being a beast. And once you've killed it, you can save. Like, you can even save now, which... could you do that before? I wonder if you can save on this phase. If you stand down in the middle of that area, the saving isn't open because you're not in the vicinity of the save point. But if you come up here, you are. So maybe you can save on this phase. God, that would have saved me a lot of heartache and a lot of mean words cast at my stream chat if I'd have known. But the boss is about to die, and that's the end of that fight. Shit boss, shit method, easy fight, right? Then you'll see a cutscene of it going all super crazy Kingdom Hearts 3. And now we have to go over to Pascal's village, and you want to swap your chips now to something that is a combination of both damage with melee and damage with range. Because you're going to fight that boss again, and once again, folks, it's going to be an awkward fight of misery because all it's going to do is fly around doing stupid lasers that are impossible to dodge precisely. You just want to spam dodge and hope for the best. And if you get lucky, you'll win. If you get unlucky, you'll lose. And saying that hurts me more than anybody knows, because that's not what video games should be. And you might wonder, well, why is it impossible to dodge? Well, if you've seen it, you know why. You can't judge distance, you can't judge where any of them are, and because they're so quick, by the time they've swathed towards you, there's almost no time to react. And half the time, you get hit by shit that doesn't touch you, the other half of the time, you get hit by shit that hits you through walls. I got hit through the concrete tower in the middle of this zone by this laser attack that this boss does, and I was behind the fucking massive pillar. And I'm not talking a small pillar. You know the bridge that I jumped to after I climbed that big ladder to my right? I'm talking that structure to my right now. It's a fucking building. A full building, and I got hit through it. And I asked my stream chat, did that just hit me through the geometry? And they were all like, yeah. So it's not me being crazy and being just a Grinch, it's the fucking game. But here is a mandatory fight. Save before you engage this fight, because if you don't, if you go back towards the save point, you'll trigger an ending and you'll have to do it again. And I'm just going to shoot them and attack them and counterattack them. Nothing fancy, I'm playing very safe. I just want to get the fight done and then hope the boss doesn't kill me. Because once again, folks, if you die, you'll have to do this fight again to get to the boss. And the boss is essentially a D&D roll. There you go. Embolism in your brain, you died. Oh, you didn't get an embolism that time, you get to see the next boss. So, shoot it and hit it with lasers, and this is one of the laser moves. Like, can you see a way to dodge this? Because I can't. And then when you break it, you want to look for the ball, Once you see the ball, hit it with melee, do as much as you can, and you can sometimes one-cycle the ball if you're strong enough. I wasn't strong enough just then, so you can't, in my circumstance. But the laser pattern the boss does is random. He has like 3 different ones he can do. There's only a few of them that are planet bullshit, but all of them can hit you, so you want to be real careful. This is also a ground attack, so make sure you're dodging all the time to avoid it. It's a one-hit kill. Everything is on very hard. Shoot his body, get the damage. Here's another laser. This is a trickier laser, this, because they're slower, and if you keep shooting him, you get the stun, so he comes out of the animation, and then he breaks, and then we can destroy him, and that's the end of that boss. Shit boss is dead. On to the next one. So, what you want to do now, once they stop talking, because you can't do any kind of menuing, or any kind of saving, I should say, or interaction, when anyone is talking. So I'm going to move towards the save point right now, and I'm going to edit out the interim of people talking and saying everything. And then what I'm going to do is preparations for the final boss. Turn 9S to aggressive. He has the same weapons that we have, I think, so he's going to be able to hit for the same kind of damage we do, and we're pretty strong thanks to 2 chips we bought from Emil. I think I bought 4 chips, but you didn't see it. All you need to know is that he appears in these latter chapters, he's ahead on the map. Stop him like I showed you me stopping him, and purchase those chips from him. Attack damage and range damage, they're both +6s, they cost 10,000 each, and they give you a 50% increase, which is incredible. 2 of those is maximum damage. Do it, it's well worth it. So this is me swapping my chips. I would recommend putting Mirage on for your pod program, because it gives you iframes and you can use it to juggle and launch him away from you. Once 9S is on aggressive, he's going to do everything you need him to do. Make sure you have Shockwave on. Make sure you've got missiles equipped, because missiles are just the best choice. You don't have to aim them. You can focus on being aggressive. And welcome to the last boss. A fight that is actually irredeemable because of one simple design. And that is, of course, you can't see anything due to the nature of the spectacle. And that's not even mentioning how bad the hitboxes are. That's not mentioning how you get hit by thin air, because every hit he has 50 meters worth of range and invisible debris. It's a fucking misery fest. So this is how you engage it. So start slapping Noctis from a distance with both shockwave and missiles, while your buddy does everything he can to be in his face and be a nuisance, and watch this dude's life melt. The only danger you're in is the debris that's oftentimes not even visible, and the incredible phantom range from their hits. If this guy decides to hit you, and you don't know it's happening and you're in the middle of a hit string, you're dead. But the fantastic news that I really do praise the game for, even though it's proof that they can design checkpoints, is that this fight has checkpoints. It has 2. It has one at the very beginning, which you just saw me use because I died and had to pick my body up, which is harder than it looks. You're going to lose so many bodies to this dude because he just instantly kills you when you try and pick it up, which is bullshit, so reload. But also, when you get to the shmup phase that comes in the second half, you get another checkpoint. 2 checkpoints in one boss fight. Is that so difficult? No. They did it for this, why not do it for everything? The answer is simple, because it's bullshit. It's inconsistent trash. There's no reason for it. It doesn't add challenge. It doesn't make it interesting. It doesn't up the stakes. It's just bad game design. So this is the phase where he goes on the platform and he chucks debris at you. This debris is a pain in the ass because it can one-shot you when it doesn't touch you, like everything else in this bloody game. And the temptation here will be to climb up the platforms and to get to the central platform to beat him up. And it does work, you can do that, but the amount of times I try and do it and I get hit by nonsense, I decided to just time this entire sequence out. So if you want to climb and engage him, you can totally do that. If you have success, awesome. But if you just want to play it safe, strafe around and it'll eventually end, and then you can continue the fight. I also have another version of this fight on my channel where I do it as 9S, if you're interested in seeing from his perspective of what's happening right now. And it's a little bit different because in the phase where you hack him, you actually have to hack him, which I think is really interesting. But we don't have to do that, and then it highlights the weird part of this particular battle. So the first thing I just find amusing is that it's the same dude we've been fighting the entire game, using the same moves we've been fighting the entire game. The only difference here is he has these debris of robots on his gauntlets, like he's got new gloves, that's it. Oh, and he has a big heal that he's doing right now. You can't stop it, don't bother. This point, it's going to tell 9S to hack him. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep hitting him with missiles. It makes him backflip away from me. And that's all we do, guys. You don't have to kill him, you don't have to be aggressive, you can just keep him at bay and wait for the hack to happen. It's incredibly boring, it's ruining a potentially amazing fight that's already been ruined, if you ask me, and it's the most effective and easiest way to do this. You're in no risk of death because he never attacks, he's too busy getting pissed off and backflipping away from missiles. It's essentially a loop, and all you need to do is dodge just in case, and every so often throw out a couple of slashes if you want to. When that circle fills, this phase of the fight is over and you get a checkpoint. And that's it, guys. That's all you need to do here. So, I think this boss fight could be improved in several ways. The first one is you completely remove the phantom range. There's no reason for it, there's no point in it. It just makes a game where you should be able to trust your eyes and then you can't. Make all the hits accurate to what they are on the screen. If his fist come in contact with me, I should die. If his debris, make it super visible, and if I come in contact with it, I should die. Don't have it hitting me when it didn't hit me, like it does all the time. That's trash. Then, get rid of the storm. Have the storm external, on the outskirts. Have some of the particle effects, but have none of the greying of the screen. Completely remove all of the obscurity so I can see the boss, and I can see the animations that you gave him, and all the fancy stuff you put into it that's been obscured by all this particle bullshit, and then you've got a better fight. You've got a fight that's interesting, and you've got a fight where you can tell what's happening. But as it stands, look at this! If you go to the edge of this crater, you might as well put the controller down, because that's what you're doing visually. Like, how is this good? It's not epic. It lasts too fucking long for it to be epic. Like, it's irredeemably bad. And it's going to get 9s out of 10s, and I'm happy for Platinum, but I'm sad for them too, because this is not their best work, by any means. The combat systems in Transformers are astronomically better than this game. Korra has better combat than this game when it comes down to the fundamentals. It might not have such an expansive suite, and it might not look as good, but fundamentally, the hitboxes are better, the dodge works better, the counter works, doesn't counter hit you, it works better, and that's a game that people call shit. That's the baffling part. Bayonetta works better than this. Metal Gear Rising works better than this. Like, I'd die before I'd named all the games that work better than this. And it's just because of silly, little, imprecise things. And if they dried up tomorrow, infinitely better game. But they're not going to, because the director likes them. And then here is the shmup phase. So the shmup phase is only tricky because of depth perception, but you should be okay because you've done this a few times. Of course I died, so I have to pick up my body because I'm a scrub. So the strategy here is simple. I'm going to shoot him with rockets, and then I'm going to get close to him. When I think he's stunned and not moving and not able to bukkake me from close range, I'm going to do a full combo on him. Then afterwards, if you're quick enough, you can jump back up and do another full combo. But there's a chance he'll bukkake you. So the safe version of this is to hit him as much as you can with missiles, and then when you're close enough and you don't think he's going to bukkake you, hit him. And that's all we're going to do here. Very simple, very uninspired, not very final bossy at all. There's nothing spectacular here. There's nothing ridiculous. The stakes aren't high. This is not the 11th hour. It's just a recycled boss with very basic patterns that aren't even as tough as some of the patterns you can get running around the city if you pull a few enemies. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. It's weird. But I'm happy that somebody else does, because some of the accolades that people are giving this game, they're having a really good time with it, and I think that's awesome, because that's what games are all about. And I do see a lot of greatness in this game, but I also see the foul, off-centered, ill seeds, and they're bad. So this phase, you have a lot of life, but on very hard you'll still die in one hit, and you can't move, because this game loves taking control away from you like this. So you have to stagger around in this very deliberate animation dodging bullets, but it's not difficult, guys. It just takes a little bit of depth perception, and that's it. And then eventually you'll do enough damage to trigger this, and then this is the end of the fight and the end of the campaign. We're going to stab him in the head, and that's going to be the guide, guys. I would have loved for me to do nothing but sing this game's praises for every video in this series, but as it stands, the game is not good enough for me to do that. It doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's way better than a whole host of games you could be playing at the moment. I just expected more, and I wanted more, and I still recommend it. I still think it's a great game. I just think you need to be aware that there are some fundamental issues here that could really put you off. But if you can see past them, I don't see a world where you will not have a ton of fun with NieR Automata. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the the A2 and the 9S campaigns, and hopefully they will be successful, because there's some really tough stuff coming, and I hope to be able to guide you through it. You take care now.